In this video, I'd like to share with you a bit more about my code. So I described to you what is it that you see in the HTML page, but this time I'd like to go with you about the actual code of what happens in the background that basically brought this page into life. So the code starts with a foundation, a skeleton of this HTML page, and it had a structure of heading, these three headings over here, and we can see them right here, heading 1, 3, and 2, and the content that they hold. Next, we see that there's a skeleton. Part of the skeleton is that there's the image and the paragraph that included in there as well. This line is also an element on the page, and that's the HR that has a styling of the background color and its height as well, how like wide it is, or like what's its height is. And these two flip boxes, they're actually elements that are called a list. And we can see that this is the first one, that's the hibiscus, so it's a list number 1. And also includes the back of the card, so this will be the front of the card, which named hibiscus, and the back of the card actually holds a text, which is the hibiscus. And there's the second element, which a second item on the list, which is also act as a flip box, and that's the seaweed, that's the front, and then there's the back of the flip box, which holds the text. We can also see that part of this HTML has 2 links that directs to Wikipedia, and they also act as a list, but in CSS, in the styling feature, we actually make this list item to be horizontally rather than on a list form from top to bottom, but more from left to right. We can see that there's the last heading, which is make your own hibiscus kiss portobello, that also has right below it a button. So we can see that this element is right here, a button that in CSS I added styling to it, that it shows that this is an interactive element on the page and you can click on it. So you can see that the color, when I hover with the mouse, it changes. Oop, there it is. And lastly, there's the image of myself, and some text at the bottom and the footer bottom that describe what is this about, who is it made by, and what is it for. And lastly, in the HTML section, I added the video background, which is, you see the glitters in the back. I'm not sure why it needs to be in the HTML one versus the CSS component of coding, but when I investigated other pages that people have coded, that's what I noticed, that the video feature, the video background, is actually in the HTML, and that's I followed the same concept. And we'll talk about later about the script about the button. Now, if we go to the CSS section of the styling of each of these structure foundation elements that we added to the page, we'll be able to see that I added a color background to the page as well. And I did that because when you refresh the page, sometimes there's like this pop of, it's not a pop, it's just that basically takes more time for the video image to load. So I added a background color in order to lessen the effect of something like a white kind of pops out while the video is loading. So that helps for a smoother, for the eye, a smoother, not transition, but identifying like what's coming up on the screen. So it's nice and smooth loading of the page. You're able to see that there's various styling here for the headers. They are all text aligned to be at the center of this page and this box. You'll see there's some line spacing, which looks very nice and takes on, adds up to volume of the header on the page. What else? Something cool that I did in here. Oh, this one is nice. So this heading number 3, that it says featured by pastry chef Yasmin Gardy, it has an overline decoration. So different from the line that is in the middle of the page that we talked about, which is the HR right here. Oh, my page is loading. It's stuck. There it is. This heading number 3 actually has a text decoration of overline above it, which gives it a really nice kind of like, feels like a newspaper to me, and I really like it. Kind of shows elegancy. And so each of this heading has hovering effect. So when you hover on it, it changes its color. It's both with a transition, so it has transition, so it's kind of smooth for the eye. It doesn't kind of like pop like a disco, like a discotheque flashing lights, but it actually has a really nice smooth transition for the eye to see. That's other cool stuff that's included in this page, so you'll be able to see that in another video I'll explain more about the listing. Let's move on for the button. So the button has also a transition that kind of hint to the user that this is an interactive item, so you'll be able to click on it. So you can see that the transition is included in it as well. I gave it a border radius, which gave it the nice curves on the edges of the square. And you'll be able to see that the button as well has a hover. So that means that the color is also changing to a different background from the previous one. So it's in its original shape. Can I say that? In its original display, it has a white background. But once you hover on it, it's changing its color for the one that's typed in this line. Similar to the button, the images also have a border radius, so it's kind of curved as well. It gives us a nice softened appearance. And the flip boxes also has a lot of styling to them for the maximum width of how they look like. That even the point of the cursor of the mouse is changing when you flip on it, so the user can identify that this is an interactive element, and they can click on it. So that was a nice extra touch. Yeah, I think this is some of the major things that I added to this page. I hope you've enjoyed it, and in my next video I will review the winners of the competition's winners pages and how they coded, so we can see together like some of the differences that they had from my page, but also what I can learn from them for the next competition. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this video.